Hello, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Um, Today I was going to do a video continuing from last week's one, uh, where I've removed some queens from some hives because I've got some imported queens coming that are mated and they're fresh this year, so they should be a bit of a better standard. Sometimes older queens can slow down, especially at the beginning of the year. So my job is to replace them. I've still got them. They're in little apiary hives, the original queen. So if anything bad happens, I can always put them back in, and it'll be as if nothing happened at all. So they're being looked after by a handful of bees, and they're happy as Larry. But today, what I'm going to be doing is stealing brood from the hives at my mating apiary. The reason I do this is because I'm not trying to get honey off these beehives at all. I've got no inclination to get honey off them, so I'm purely using these hives as a way of creating brood to help my production hives so they can produce more honey. It's quite a useful thing to do, to just have a resource of bees that you can dip into when you need them. It doesn't harm these hives anyway. They will still get the same amount of food during winter. So we take the brood from these hives just because, in essence, they don't need them. We give them all the space that they need as well. So these hives are very unlikely to swarm because they're quite happy and they just keep thinking, oh wow, we've got more space here, we can fill this up with more brood, brilliant. And it's a constant cycle, and yeah, these are probably the happiest of all the hives that I have. Yeah, but I'm getting pinged by little investigative bees now, so I best go and crack on and get my hood up as well. That's probably for the best. Right, so to take the brood away from a hive, you need to make sure that it's strong and it can have the brood taken away without causing too much trouble. So this one is in this top box, which I only put on last week. And this one is completely empty, but it's full of foundation, so I'm not expecting them to go into that one until they are completely ready. There is a problem that I found in one of these over here where I have had these two nuke supers. So what I've done here is that I've got two separate boxes that I use as supers, put them on top. The bees should fill them both, but what that means is I can take them off, put them on a floor on a roof that you're currently sat on, and in essence, I've just created a nuke. Really easy. It's a really easy way of doing little splits. You just need to make sure that the queen stays in the bottom box when you take these off, and you need to make sure you've got some brood and food and stuff like that. And all you need to do, introduce a new queen or a virgin to it, and away you go. It's the simplest way of making nukes. As I said, this is just foundation, so what I might do after I've done all this is I might swap a few frames out here and there, and that means that the bees will be encouraged to come up into this box and start drawing out this foundation. First protocol though is that I'm going to take these top boxes off and look for some brood. So this box can come off quite easily. As you can see, the bees are in the bottom row. Well, I hope you can see that. Let's have a look. See if you can see that. Otherwise, it's a moot point. Can you see that? You can just see that. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. So the good news is that the bees are in the bottom box and they're in the top box. So that to me means that they are quite strong. This is quite a large colony, so it means I can take quite a bit of brood from it. I say, without going in. Let's see what happens when I do finally go in. So I've put my hive tool down somewhere and I don't know where to put it. Right. So it's quite cold today, so the bees aren't happy with me being inside the hive. So what I need to do is I need to just smoke them a little bit, just to calm them down. They're not stinging me, but they are going over my hands when I'm approaching them like this. It's usually a warning signal. It's nothing to worry about too much, because as I said, they've not stung me yet, and these are just nitrile gloves, so they're thin as out. But they can sting me really easily through these. So I'm just going to give them a little waft, wafty, wafty, waft. As you see, they all start heading down. So let's have a quick gander, see if we've got any cat brood in here, because I could just take this off and save myself some time going through the bottom. We have got some brood. Not all of it is capped, but it does look good and healthy. Put that down there. I'll lift this up. Right, so this was foundation. So this is fresh foundation last week. And as you can see, well, you could see if the smoker wasn't trying to block the view. They've already drawn a lot of it out. And you can tell that that's dandelion just from how luminous yellow that is. So don't mow your dandelion flowers, because that is the best source of nectar at this time of year for the bees. Well, not just honeybees, but all sorts of insects. So you've got butterflies, moths, and other bees like bumblebees, etc. So as you can see, they're still not happy with me. So I'm going to have to waft a bit more smoke of them if they carry on, because I don't want to have any stings, because when they sting you, they die. And I want to not have any deaths at all. Right, so this one has brood in it, but it's also got some honey, like genuine honey, not just nectar. Some honey in the corner there. So I'm going to shake these out, just so I can show you. Where's the best way to do this? I'll do it down here. It's also a lot of drone brood. So yeah, see if I can show you on the camera. So can't see very well. There's one I prepared earlier. So you can see the little eggs, I think. Can you see them? Little grains of rice at the bottom there. Useful tool, little torch. We've got some capped brood here, out of the way. This here, it's like digestive biscuity colour, which is great. And this here, these are raised bumps, so these are drone brood, because they are too big to fit in the normal cells, so they have to increase the size. So drones are males, that's just workers, so they're females. And generally you don't have any idea what these are going to be, whether they're going to be workers or drones until the cat. Unless you have them in separate. So if you look there, cell sizes. So this here is a small cell. This is a large cell. You see the difference in sizes there. There's a good few millimeters there. If they're laid in here, then it's more than likely going to be a drone. Just because the queen, when she's walking around, she feels around the inside of the cell, goes, okay, it's quite large, I'm going to lay a drone, or I'm going to lay a worker. But sometimes if there's no drone cells about, she'll lay drones in worker cells, which is what's happened here. This is a lovely frame. I've shook it off to show you the honey. The honey's here. You can see the shininess there. And all the bees are there, sticking their heads in and wafting the wings to try and dry it out to turn it into honey. There you are. I got carried away. Apologies. Right. So, and there's another frame of foundation that they are drawing out. So these guys, they found a nectar source and they seem quite happy with it. They're pinging me, but they're not attacking me outright, which is usually a sign that they have found a nectar source and they're quite happy with themselves. Right, time to go in the next one. Right, I'm just going to brush these off because I don't. No stings yet, but they weren't happy with that. So the trick to brushing bees off things is to use your fingernails, because the bees can't sting through your fingernails. So if you're going to brush, flick like that and it'll brush them off. And they can't sting your fingernails, so they stay alive and they get moved to the place that you want them to be moved to. Okay. Right. So this is interesting. So the comb, hang on, I'm just going to waft them with a bit of smoke because they're getting a bit antsy. Go on, calm down. Calm down, come on. There we are. So it's nice cool smoke. I think I've got a video on Instagram and Facebook on how to create the perfect smoke. What you want is it to be quite thick, like that. and you want it to be relatively cool because you don't want to be burning any bees. But yeah, so what's interesting here is that this super here was full of bees, but when you go down, it is empty. No bees there. But all the bees on this side, where the super was completely empty. So a bit confused about that one, but you know, each their own. But that's good for him. Right. That's another foundation from this year, 2024. And they've started drawing that out. And as you can see, they have drawn it. Oh, God. I know it's cold, guys, but come on. They've started drawing it out, and it's luminous yellow, so again, that's dandelions. So there must be a large patch of dandelions nearby. I can't see any, but there are some fields nearby, so maybe that's where they're getting it from. Yeah. Right. That's some capped brood. Right, I'm going to have to shake these out, because I think this is a good frame of capped brood, which is what I'm wanting. But I can't, as you can see there, it's very hard to see through the massive bees. So if you just shake them off very carefully, because I've not seen the queen yet, and if she's in that pile of bees there, then I don't want to hurt her. So that's an okay amount of brood, and that's okay as well. Yeah, kind of a heart shape, that's cool. I want to put that to the side. I'm not going to take that straight away because there may be some better frames. What I'm wanting is a full frame of brood. Just going to get them away from me. Yeah, I can't remember if I've said or not, but it's 7 degrees C at the moment, so they're a bit antsy. They're not too happy with the cold wake up, as you wouldn't be if someone ripped the covers off your lovely warm bed. But as I said, they're not stinging me at the moment, so that's good. They may sting me in a bit, just to prove me wrong, but they're doing okay. So there's lots of frames of brood, but these are just eggs and larvae, not what I'm wanting. I'm wanting capped brood. Just be careful when putting frames down because you don't want to hurt anyone. Just smoking away. I think the biggest part of this is just trying to understand why they're getting annoyed at you. I'm quite an annoying person in general, so I've got quite a lot of experience with trying to figure out why people are annoyed at me. But if you realise that it's you coming into the nice warm home and opening all the windows, you'd understand why they're a bit miffed. Right, so this has got quite a lot of brood in it, so I'm going to steal this frame. So I'm going to be very careful. Bees fall outwards quite far, so you can either go this way, so they fall either side that way, or if you do it angled, then you've got a little bit more. Come on, guys, you've got a little bit more distance for them to fall. So, well, no, area for them to be caught in. Sorry, not fall. So just nice and gently. You don't want to hurt anyone. Have a look, see how many's left. There's a lot of fluffy bees there, so there's a lot of nurse bees. But as you can see, there's a lovely brood there, lovely patch of brood there. Shake them off, and then any stragglers, just want to brush with your fingernails. A trick with beekeeping is try to learn how to do things with the hive tool in your hand still, because as soon as you put that bugger down, it disappears from you. And it's sod's law that you always bloody need it as well. So, right. There they are, nice and cleared. I'm going to go put that somewhere warm so I can use it elsewhere. I'm not sure if you can see, but down here I've got some brood comb that is from a dead out, so I'll replace any comb that I'm taking with one of them, and they should be happy as Larry. Right, that's another frame of capped brood that's quite good. Quick look for the queen, and there she is. There's the queen, and she's not marked, so I'm going to show you how to mark a queen as well. So I use this. I always use this because I've picked up queens before with my fingers, and I've squished one or two, and it's horrible. I feel really bad when I do that. So I'm trying my best. As you can see, the bees aren't too happy with me. You've got to keep an eye on the queen because she has a cloaking array and she likes to hide. So as you can see, I've placed that on top of the queen. She can't go anywhere now. As soon as she starts to crawl up this way, I'm going to stick my finger underneath, and then she's trapped in there. Come on. But she's going to be a bugger, and she's not going to try to... There we go. So she's up. There we are. So I've just caught the queen. There we go. There she is. So the queen rarely stings. She leaves that for the workers. But she really stings. So generally you can handle them with your bare hands if you want to. So what I'm going to do is transfer her into this. It's a little marking cage. Again, a little knock. Shouldn't need much, and she'll fall down. And then I'm going to place this in here, and now she's trapped in there. And this here is really squishy. It's really soft and really squishy. Just knock her down. Come on. There we go. Let's see if I can immobilize her on camera for you. So there she is, right there. Can you see her? And what I'm going to try and do is match her up with this line here. Generally she moves in there anyway. When you start to reduce the space, bees love to shove the faces in really tight spaces, so come on. So it's just a little bit of playing. The problem is that with this one is that it's kind of curved to one direction, so it means that the queen naturally tries to go to the bottom bit where there's more space, which can leave you a bit scuppered. And then she's like that, then you can't mark anything there. But I'm going to try and fidget her a bit more. Just have to do a bit of jiggery pokery. I much prefer this queen cage over other ones that I've used, just because this space in the middle is so wide, and the cushion is very soft, so you can put quite a bit more pressure on without hurting her. So there she is. She's immobilised now. She's perfectly fine. She is last year's queen. So what I'll do is I'll just make sure that it's running, get rid of any blobs, and then I just mark her very gently on the carapace here, and then quickly release. What that means is that she can't run around. So these marks here is where I've left it too long and release very slowly, like the blue from the first season, and she smudges the ink around. So if you lift it up very quickly, so she's still stuck, but she's got room to move. It means that she can't smudge that dot on her back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer her to a queen cage, if I've got one. Yeah, I do. And then she'll be safe. No bees can get to it to rub that mark off, which is very annoying when they do that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to push her back into there, and then we're going to transfer her into there. And she should, yeah, there she goes, quite happily move into the cage. Done. So the queen is in there now. She's safe. She's marked, and I'm going to put her on top of the bees so they can still keep her warm with the heat of the hive. So everything's fine. Leave her in there for a minute or two until I finish up the inspection and the stealing of brood, and then I'll release her and she'll be fine. So there we go. I'll shake these off. Wow, that's a really good frame of cat brood. Look at that. That's a really good one. So I'm going to throw it off. Ooh, there we go. So I've taken 2 frames of brood from this one, I think that might be enough. So I'm going to smoke these guys down. Calm down. Come on, guys. Chill out. Oh, yeah, the smoke was down. That's why they were attacking the end. There we go. That's better. Really. So I've thoroughly gone through all the homes, so that's why they're getting thoroughly annoyed with me. And I've shaken quite a few of the frames out. I'm going to leave them with this one, even though this is a huge frame of brood, because they need as many bees as they can. I wouldn't take more than 2 frames from a hive, a colony, sorry, unless they were really bursting at the seams. This one has quite a bit of space in here, so I'm just going to take 2 frames for now. And this one here, that's another capped frame as well. So these guys are doing quite well. I'm quite proud of these guys. These were also a nuke, like the other ones. Okay. Right, let's put frames back. So we're missing 2 frames. One. When you're putting new frames in, whether it's foundation or say dirty frames like these, always make sure that you put some of the brood frames in between. One, it means that you haven't just got this big cold spot that's not being used. And 2, bees' response to having foundation or dirty frames next to brood is they want to clean it, so it means that it gets cleaned a lot faster. Right, there we go. Right, where have I put that other frame? Is it there somewhere? Have I taken 3 frames from this one? I must have taken 3 frames. Oh yeah. Right then. Move this over here. Move this here. And then push this one down. Like so. Okay, cool. So there's the queen. I'm not going to forget about her. I'm putting her there for now. Don't forget about her, because otherwise the bees will get annoyed. I'm going to smoke these down. I'm going to put the box supers on. Come on. It should be fine in the middle, because there's quite a bit of bee space under these boxes. But it's just in the centre, you just need to be a bit careful, because I don't want to hurt anyone. There we go. That's fine. And there's no bees in between, so that's what matters. There we go. Just a bit better. So to see if I can encourage them up to this box of foundation, I'm going to take this foundation out. I'm just going to move one of these frames of brood. It's splitting the hive up, but it's so big at the moment, it shouldn't really matter too much. And there's a frame of foundation here. I'm going to pop it in the middle here, next to this brood. There we go. Right, and the next job is to release the queen. So what I'm going to do is put her here, take the lid off, there she is, all marked. And she should smell her colony and decide to go down, as you can see. Bees are finding her and going, "You've got a lovely new dress." And down she goes. Right, I'm going to close these guys up because they're getting very annoyed. Whoa. Four slugs. Right. Whoa. There we go. Job done. Hello everyone, I have to be quick because I'm running really late and I need to go take my daughter swimming. my car is now full of bees because I've taken brood. You can't see now actually. I've taken brood from the hives at the mating apiary, and I'm going to start putting it in these hives over here, my production hives, to try and bolster their numbers. So I'm probably not going to do anything really slowly. I'm probably just going to do it super quick because I don't have the time, sadly. But I thought I'd let you know, and then I'll just set the thing going. All right. An emergency cell because I took out the queen. I'm going to knock that down and then look for some more, and then I'm going to give it some brood. More queen cells there. I wouldn't have seen them if I hadn't have shaken the bees off. So when it comes to finding queens, always shake the bees off because they can be hiding anywhere. So it's been a few days since I've been down and knocked those cells down and added some extra brood to those hives. In that time, my daughter has taken up kickboxing at the ripe old age of 1 and a bit, and managed to do some damage to me. And I seem to have lost my tripod somewhere. It's probably one of the apiaries under a hive somewhere, so I'm holding you manually. I've taken a bit of a break during lunchtime. I'm going to have an hour or so now, and then go back to work. I'm just going to go check those hives again and see if they've started drawing out more emergency cells. The job that I need to do now is just keep knocking those cells down until these queen bees turn up. I had a message from Marco from Mellow Bees, and supposedly the bees have been sent off today to be arriving tomorrow. So it's more urgent now that I need to knock these cells down and make sure that the bees are in a good state to accept these queens. So that's what I'm going to go do now. I probably won't record it just because I've not got the tripod. If you do see a recording of it, I found the tripod on the apiary. But if not, then I hope you have a great day. There it is, my little tripod. Exactly where I left it a few days ago. So a quick question I had is, how do you actually knock down a cell? So there's a queen cell right there. What we're trying to do is we're either trying to squish it or just remove it with the end of our hive tool. In essence, what we're doing is we are removing that larvae from the frame. So it means that they cannot be turned into a queen. If you look, I don't know if you remember, but I think I showed you this frame last time, and not as many of these cells were capped at that point, but now a lot more have been capped as time's gone on. So slowly but surely these bees are running out of larvae that they can turn into a queen. So at that point they will be hopelessly queenless, and I can add a queen. Yeah. don't know if you can see this, but on this frame, this big frame, there's one queen cell, and it's really, really easy to miss. You ready? You see it there? Hidden amongst this drone brood is a queen. So we have to knock it down, unfortunately. But yeah, that's why you have to shake all the bees off whenever you're looking for swarm cells, because they could be literally anywhere. First study day for a while, and as you can see here, well I hope you can see, lots and lots of fresh nectar coming in. There's another one. Boop, just pop it off, sling it away. These bees don't need that queen because you're going to add one. If you look here and here, some people think that these are queen cells, but because they are horizontal, like that, sticking out, that means that they're a drone brood frame. Well, drone brood cell. It's ones that are going vertically downwards that are queen cells. So if you destroy this, it won't cause too much harm to the hive in general, but it's a drone cell, not a queen cell, so don't worry about it. Those frames of brood that are put in, I don't know if you can see, but they're breaking through here and here and over here. So these bees are now going to chew their way out of these cells, turn back round, clean the cell out. See if we can get one bird. There we go. Look, that one's coming out now, nice and floofy. Have a little look around, then she'll come back, clean out her cell, tidy it up a bit, and then she'll go and start doing normal bee stuff. Right, I'm off. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.